Guys, I hope you guys are having a wonderful Thursday morning. I am having a great Thursday morning. Um, I want to tell you guys a story about something that happened to me when I was 20 years old in 2012. Basically, at this point in my life, I had no comprehension about societal taboos. I had no comprehension of how society was set up in terms of the underworld. And when I say underworld, I don't mean criminality. I mean secret societies, secret hangouts, secret gathering spots, hookup spots. And in 2012, in my city of Richmond, Virginia, there was a YMCA that's on Franklin Street, West Franklin Street. And this YMCA serves as a gym. It makes its income by charging for gym memberships, very cheap in comparison to some of the commercial gyms in the area. They also have some sort of partnership with these group homes where they allow people from group homes. And when I say group homes, I mean people who are struggling with mental health illnesses, people who are on disability, who, they also they allow these people to come to the gym to work out for free. But generally what ended up happening was they just would end up hanging out in this cafeteria area. So my routine used to be I would take my mother to work at 6 a.m. because her job was actually right behind the gym. And then I would go to the gym, and then I would go to my community college, which is also right behind the gym. So all of these three locations were right there, and it worked out for me. And that's the reason why I joined this gym. So one morning, I'm at the gym. I take my mother to work. I hit the gym, and I'm downstairs in the locker room. And as we all know, there's a such thing as locker room etiquette. And in locker room etiquette, you basically don't go out of your way to look at people. But if you do see somebody naked and you can't avoid it, it's no big deal. We're in a locker room, we're changing clothes, blah, blah, blah. That's the etiquette. You don't pay attention to it. So it's routine to see naked men in the men's locker room. They have a sauna, they have a steam room, and they have a series of aisles, like grocery store aisles that have lockers. So generally speaking, what I would do is before I work out, I would go to the locker room area, take off my regular clothes, and switch into my gym clothes, put my bag in the locker, put the padlock on, go upstairs. And when I finished, I would go back downstairs and I would, take my clothes off, put a towel on, and hit the steam room. I used to love the steam room. I used to love the sweat. I would spray some eucalyptus oil, and I was just, I liked it. At that particular time, it was great for my breathing, and it was just a wonderful ritual. I used to go into the steam room, shave in the steam room, and it just was a wonderful thing. One day, okay, I'm sitting at the aisle. In front of the lockers, they have these benches, these long benches that go down. And it's locker. I'm at my locker. I'm getting ready to leave the gym. Hold on. Getting ready to leave the gym, right? And getting ready to leave the gym, and this gentleman is at the end of the aisle. So you have the main walkway. So this is the main walkway, right? And right here where I'm sitting, imagine I'm at my locker, and this is the main walkway where all the foot traffic is coming and going out of the locker room. I see this old naked guy. He must have been about 70 years old. He's butt naked. He has absolutely no clothes on. And what he's doing is he's going back and forth down the hallway. And at the time, I didn't know what he was doing. But in retrospect, I realized that he was actually fishing for a young man. What he would do is this. He had an item in his hand. I can't remember what it was, but he would drop the item like this, bend down and pick it up, and as he's bending down, his butthole is facing in your direction while you're sitting there at your locker. So you're sitting there at your locker, doing whatever you're doing, getting your clothes, putting your clothes on, putting your clothes back into the locker, whatever. And this guy, you look over, you see this guy drop something. He's bending down, and he's in his lips like this, with his butthole literally facing right into the middle of your eyesight. And at the time, I didn't know that this was a pass. A pass is when somebody makes an overt action to try to seduce you. I didn't know what that meant at the time because I was so young. And I made the mistake of looking because I was so surprised, shocked, and I was so angry that this guy would be doing something so invasive of my privacy. So invasive of my privacy. So I made the mistake of looking at him. And I learned in retrospect that if you don't pay attention, they go away and they try that technique on another person. So I made the mistake of looking at this guy. Next day I come to the gym. I'm in the steam room, you know, getting a good sweat on before I take a shower and leave. The same guy comes in, 70-something years old, gray hair, gray chest hair. He comes into the steam room. I'm the only person in there. And like I said, you can't avoid seeing naked people, especially when you're sitting down in the steam room and some naked guy just comes in. He had an erect member. His male private part was erect, and it had a big ring on it, and he just stood at the door. I was the only one in the steam room, and he just stood at the door like this, just looking at me, and I just was like, yo, you gotta get the I said, get the fuck away. I left. I reported, then I went upstairs, and I told one of the staff members who I was really cool with about this, and I was like, yo, what is going on in this gym? This is weird. And he said, yeah, this is a hookup spot. And I said, a hookup spot? And he explained it to me. He said, yeah. He said, don't you notice that these people that be in the steam room, that be in the locker room, you never see them working out? Then I thought about it. And I said, yeah, these guys would come in with bags, workout bags, as if they're going to work out, and they go downstairs into the locker room and change into workout clothes, but they never actually come upstairs to work out. They come to the gym and they stay in the locker room for hours and hours. And I realized at that moment that the YMCA's locker room was what you call an LGBT hookup spot. And it blew my mind. At that particular time, I was 20 years old. I didn't know much about the world. And it was just amazing to me that you can have an underground society that exists side by side a normal above ground society. Peace.